y'all, and welcome to Creators Gaming. Today we're going to be making a little pipe organ for our players. Now, for a video note, I am going to start releasing these bi-weekly to help keep me from getting burnout and to continue having ideas that are worth watching. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dig into my trash pile and get to it. To start off with, I'm going to go ahead and clear off a working space, and I already measured out how big I wanted my organ to be. I did end up cutting a little bit more off the top because I thought it was still a little too tall, which you'll see later in the video. For this project, you can use regular cardstock, but for this I am using a milk bone box, which works great. Also going to use a couple of pieces of popsicle stick. Now some of these I am going to break in half and then I'm going to put off to the side to bulk it up a little bit and make it look like it's kind of run down. I don't want a new looking organ, I want an older looking one. I did get a bit of a giggle out of this because I did not realize what part of the box that I had cut out. I suppose that part of the advantage of using trash is you never really know what you're going to get, and I got a pretty good giggle out of this. Now I'm just going to build up the sides using pieces of my popsicle stick that I cut to size. They are up to 1 inch in length. And I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the other side in. Learning from past mistakes, the shiny side is going on the inside, so I can spray paint it or I can paint it regularly without the paint coming off. I was unsure of the direction that I wanted this project to go, so I'm kind of winging it here. About here, I decided that top part needs to come off. It is a little too long, and I'm just trying to decide on where I want to cut it. So I'm just going to hack at it. And keep in mind, I do not want a newer looking organ. I do want it to look a little old and run down, so it doesn't have to be straight. Not that I could really cut a straight line to begin with. And I'm going to go ahead and use some matchsticks that I had. I bought these at Walmart. They come pretty cheap. I think it's maybe $3 for a large pack of these. It didn't hardly cost anything and it lasts a while. So I'm going to go ahead and build up the sides of what I want my pipe organ to be, and we're going to hot glue it all down. And there's going to be a little bit of a gap for a while until I go back in and fill it with a broken piece of popsicle stick. Hindsight, I probably should have just cut this 2" by 1" all the way around, because I did go back in and cut the rest of that off. I did not like the way it looked, so I lopped it off. Using yet more matchsticks, I'm going to go ahead and set up a place for the book to go. That way we know where all our music is going to be set at. For the pedal keyboard, I am just going to cut the ends of some popsicle sticks and have them sticking out a little bit. I'm starting off with 3, but you will notice later that I'm going to add some more. Now, to hot glue the pedals down, I am putting another piece of popsicle stick down at the bottom. That way it has a little bit more of a hold. It's not perfect, but you know what? It works. Come to think of it, I probably really should buy some stocks and hot glue with as much as I use. We're going to go ahead and pause the video right here to remind you that you can become a Patreon or buy us a coffee. All proceeds go towards furthering the channel and buying supplies. If you help out, you do get a shout out. Alright, next step, we are going to go ahead with the keyboard, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place these and how thick I want it to go. Like I said before, I had no rhyme or reason how I was going to do this. I just had a vague idea of what I wanted to do, and we're going to put it into action. I ended up not liking that piece where I had it, so I ended up taking it off, and I'm going back in with a matchstick to give me a little bit of a base where it has something to hold on to, and then I'm going to cut it to size and put it underneath where we have a stacked keyboard. Felt that the pedal keyboard was lacking, so we're going to go ahead and add a few more in and fill that baby up. To make the music book, I'm just using another piece of popsicle stick, cutting off the edges, and then clamping down right in the middle, breaking it not all the way in half, but enough to where I can bend it into a book shape. Blam. Now for the pipes for our pipe organ, we're going to go super expensive and get some straws. And I'm going to hot glue those suckers to the back side and then cut them however I want them. For this, I am only going to go one deep, though you can do another layer going the opposite side to give it a little bit more depth, but this is for a pirate captain coming up later in our game. Go ahead and reinforce it with a little bit more hot glue or they're not going to go anywhere. Just going to crisscross the hot glue in the back to give it a firmer, more solid foundation in the back side, so there's no slippage and I don't have to worry about them popping off later. With that done, we're going to wait for the hot glue to dry. There's a mini for scale, and then we're going to spray paint it in the backyard. I did it with a flat brown color. Go ahead and hit it with a matte brown oxide, and we're going to go ahead and slather that on. The purpose of spray painting it ahead of time is in case I miss any spots, you can't really tell. After that's dry, we're going to go ahead and switch over to a white and hit the spots that we want to be brighter, like the keys and the book. Next step, I am going to hit the pipes themselves with some deadly iron silver, or you can use a Sharpie marker that is a silver metallic marker. You can go super cheap if you want, or you can use the paint. Apple Barrel makes a brand of silver. I don't really like the coverage that it has. It's a little too watery for my taste. Although the Sharpie marker does have a pretty good coverage. Although on this one, I am going to go ahead and use the Army Painter or Game Master's Deadly Iron. Next paint that I'm going to use is a Territorial Beige, which is another Apple Barrel, and I'm going to dry brush parts of the organ itself, and then I'm going to hit the back side where I crisscrossed with the hot glue earlier. Give it more of an appearance of maybe rope or something like that, just in case somebody knocks it over. It doesn't look weird. It will be backed up to something else, that way you can't see this side, but we're going to go ahead and hit it with a little bit of paint just in case. Break out my Sharpie marker, that way I can draw the keys a little better and the notes on the book itself. Remember the 5-foot rule when you're making these. It does not have to be perfect. As long as it looks good 5 feet away, that's all that really matters, because nobody's going to be real right up on your piece. Mostly going to be interested in the players and the creatures that you have on the board. This is a scattered terrain piece and it doesn't have to be perfect. Now for some dry brushing with Dave's Mystery Paint. Still have no clue what this color is really called, but we're going to use it anyway. Dry brush with this, we're going to knock off most of the paint on the cardboard there, and then we're going to hit our piece with it so we don't go too heavy-handed with it. Just like that, the piece is finished. There you have it. Super easy, super quick. If you liked the video, please hit the like, subscribe, share the video. It helps out a whole lot, and I hope to see y'all not this Friday, but next Friday. Bye.